Hello and welcome to the Wickham Art Room. My name is Mrs. Keitel. I'm the only art teacher here at Wickham Elementary, but I also travel to Alexander as well. Today I've got a sub-lesson that we're going to be doing. This is great for some of our younger grades. Older grades could do it too, but our younger grades specifically are really mastering their shapes. So we're going to be doing some shape robots today, and it should be pretty fun. Pretty simple and laid out, all steps that we're used to here in the art room. So we're ready to roll. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So today everybody's going to get a sheet of paper that says who belongs to these legs. And on this sheet, you're going to create 3 separate robots. Now, when we build robots, we're going to think about a couple elements of art that we are learning and practicing all the time. 1 is line, 2 is shape, 3 is going to be color as we finish up, and if anybody wants to try something a little extra on top of their color, you could even do a little texture. But what we will do is each student is going to make 3 full robots. Now on these robots on here, you get a little starter. The 2 on the left and the right have just the very bottom of these robot bodies. If we had knees on these robots, it would be from the knees and below, where the one in the center here has those knee joints, and you can see they've even used some nice line work to show where they'll bend, and then right up to maybe where the waist would be. So our goal today is to use pencil first to draw our new designs, our shape robots. We will then use a little Sharpie to trace and outline these and give them the best details, the nice smooth bold lines that we can. And everyone will then have the option of crayons, markers, or colored pencils to color. I today have our marker containers, which are colored caddies per each table. We've got a mixture of regular kind of markers, fine tips, and there are a couple sketch here, but if you're going to use a Mr. Sketch marker, remember that these are chisel tip, so you should be coloring appropriately for the area. If it's a small area, use the little tip. If it's a big area, you can use the long chisel side to make nice, clear, smooth lines. Now, every table today is going to have packets to help them with some ideas and some shapes. On our first page, we've got some completed robots. Now, these robots don't have faces, and I wanted an example on purpose that had no face because you should be using your creativity to decide what kind of emotions your robot has. Maybe they're happy, excited, or maybe they're kind of grumpy, or maybe a little determined to get some work done. But you'll have different body shapes to work with, different ways to make the legs, add wheels if you needed. Just depends on what kind of robot you want. Next, we have a sheet that is only heads. Now, there's not very many eyes included in here, and there are a couple body torsos, kind of the top half of our bodies here at the bottom. But again, just some examples of shapes you might use and how you could even use line to add more details. The very last page here is getting a little more of those details, and this one is a little smaller, so we're going to do our best to look at these today, but it's going to have some of those expressions. This robot looks a little nervous. Ooh, his mouth is really wide and his teeth are closed. Where this robot's just kind of chilling, has their eyes nice and big and a little line for a smile. These might be some ideas for you. If these packets are helpful, awesome. If you have your own ideas, go for it all on your own. But once you kind of glance through those ideas, and we should have watched a little video, an awesome video called The Robot and the Butterfly already, then you're going to have everything you need to get started. So we will begin with pencil first. Since we know that these ones on the left and the right are just from the knees down, then you might need to make some sort of joints or something to represent the top of the legs. So I might make This one a more round robot, so I'm going to draw the rest of the legs up, maybe make a line across for a waist. I'm thinking about line work too, so I might add some lines in to show that this is a separation from the legs to the body. For this shape, I'm thinking really round, so I'm going to do kind of like half of an oval shape. Then I can think about, all right, what's my robot wearing? Maybe they're a worker robot and they have a pocket to help keep things safe while they're working. Maybe they have a zipper to store something inside their robot bodies or to have access to get a maintenance check. After the body is built a little bit, you can use curvy lines to show where the shoulder joint might be. Again, line work is going to go great here. When we build other shapes like squares or half ovals, those will help us for larger spots. The bigger spots will be nice with those lines. Next, I'll have maybe my arm coming out. I'm going to make a circle for the joint. This one I'll have come down. He's kind of doing a little wave action here. I'm going to go double lines. If we have just one line, it'll look like our robot has barely any arm at all. For the hand, I'm thinking kind of like a Lego hand. It's like an open U. Keep moving on up. Now I'm going to come up to the neck. For this, I'll use two straight lines, but to show it's a curvy neck, a round neck, I'm going to make some little curved lines all the way up to a nice head shape. Now this robot's pretty round all the way around. We've got curves, he's doing the wave, his head has kind of a squared off top, but there's no points. So each robot will be very different. Maybe one you'll do really round, one you'll do really pointed, maybe you'll do them all one way. That's totally up to you. Now for this one, I want to kind of, a little nervous, a little excited, but I'm going to use a zigzag line for his teeth, like, whoa, what's going on? My robot might have a little nose. I can use a little half square for that. For the eyes, I'm thinking they're going to be kind of worried with that big mouth, so I might make little lines first and then wrap up a little U shape or half circle and fill in those robot eyes. Once you get to the very tippity top of the head, you might decide if your robot has antennas or if your robot has hair. Some hair would be not so soft like ours. It might be kind of metally, so you can decide how that might look. But I'm thinking I'm going to give him a nice little dome hat with some antennas popping off. Again, everything you make for your robot should have two lines, not just one. These aren't stick robots. When you would be all done with this today, you'll get a Sharpie marker and outline all those important lines that you just created. The lines will then match our little starters that we got on our worksheet. And when you are all done today, then you may use markers, crayons, or those colored pencils, whatever you would choose, to fill these in. Maybe you'll go more with gray and think of a metally, shiny robot. Maybe you're going to use multiple colors and have them be very vibrant. All these choices are up to you, kiddos. By the end of class today, we should all have at least 3 drawn robots. I would think we would have enough time to trace with Sharpie, but if you don't have enough time, that is okay. We will find another day to finish these up. As always, when we have a sub, make sure that we are being kind and respectful. Have a great day today, and I cannot wait to see your robots when I come back next week. Have a wonderful day.